Can I move this
It is. We're going to talk about the golden age, well, some silver age, but golden age of comics. We just came across. I'll let Frank explain it since Frank is our. Hi, I'm Justin from Farpoint Toys. This is from retro to right now. One of the things we do when we talk about either toys we got in, comics we got in, stuff we like, vintage, new,
and a little bit of everything.
movie. It doesn't matter. This is just where we sit and talk, and hopefully you listen. And hi, Brenda. Look, Brenda, it's your handsome husband.
Oh yeah.
So what do we got going on? We're drinking coffee first of all. Where's your coffee?
It's over there.
You don't want to spill it on the comics?
I don't want to spill it on the comics. Yeah. Well, listen. One of the things that happened. We want to give a shout out to Perry. Perry found these.
Perry Como.
Perry Como.
Forgive us if for some reason we start talking like we're really North Jersey Italians or even South Jersey Italians.
Yeah, tell them why, Josh.
We just started. Frank was like, "Man, I've been rewatching The Sopranos,
20-year anniversary."
And Penelope and I had never seen it. And being of Italian descent, I said, "Well, I might as well watch it. Let's see what it's all about." And now we can't stop. Like, the accent came so easy, it's hard to get rid of.
You know what I'm saying, right, Justin?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so.
Maron, I can't even stop. And I sound like everybody in my family, and I'm not even trying. It's just coming out that way.
It's just coming out.
It's messed up.
I mean, we went to McDonald's, you know what I'm saying? And we told them we need 2 cheeseburgers. Make sure, honey, you get them onions right.
Right? Extra onions.
Extra onions, all right, sweetheart?
All right.
All right, bada bing with that.
Yeah.
All right.
What do we got?
All right, what we got is last week we got a call from Perry, who is a friend of mine, well-known, the star of Columbus Flea Market. Hunter, picker, collector, and really one of the premier tables out there.
Dancer.
Yeah,
and dancer.
And wedding, and he's a wedding dancer.
And you want to know his last name? His last name is a very Italian last name. So it's Penabianco.
Bianco, yeah. Buttafuoco.
That means white pasta.
White knight. Anyway, if you ever need a wedding dancer, he's always willing to come to a wedding that he doesn't know the people. Here you go. So anyway, Perry called and said that one of his local comic shops had come across some Golden Age stuff. They knew that we're always looking for Golden Age stuff. And we were able to work out a dealer-to-dealer deal with Perry Middleman. And this is what some of the stuff that came in. And we're really always happy because other than Plunder Palace, shout out to Plunder Palace, I really don't know any current comic dealers that are getting any major Golden Age. Just when we went out the other day.
Golden Age is like real estate. They're not making any more of it.
Yeah.
It's hard to come by.
Hard to come by in any condition. We took what we could get, and I want to shout out to Perry. And again, to Plunder Palace, if you're looking for huge inventory on Golden Age, Mark tends to have a lot of nice stuff. So,
all right.
So we're going to talk about our stuff. And first of all, we'll go through each book, but the several books just stood out. This is late gold, arguably early Silver Age. It's first appearance of Batwoman, which was the precursor of Batgirl. Semi-key book. It's actually been up. It's been doing a lot more than it usually does. When I looked, I was surprised to see how good it was. And for this era, take a look at that book, Just. Nice copy, right? Nice solid copy. We'll be having this. We may even have that graded. It's just a nice mid-grade.
Yeah, listen, we're here to talk about these books. They might not be on the wall for some time, if ever, because you're kind of a collector.
Yeah, but they'll be here. We'll have them here if somebody wants them. Anyway, first Batwoman, semi-key, probably about a $400 or $500 book in that grade.
What are they shooting? Some sort of
ray gun.
This looks like a camera. No, they're in. Looks like one of those spoof movies you see on Pornhub.
Yeah, and it's the guy, the evil G.I. Joe guy.
It's a beachhead.
It's an early version of the Cobra guy.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
This guy who
Serpentor?
Serpentor. It's an early Serpentor.
That is not Serpentor.
Okay. So one of the reasons I might be going up, Frank, I'm sure you know this already, they're doing that new show with Ruby Rose as Batwoman.
Oh,
That
yeah.
just
I didn't
kinda
know that. It makes sense
Yeah,
now.
I think she cameoed on one of the other WB shows or whatever. And
Oh,
now
cool.
she's doing her own thing.
I didn't read this book. Obviously, I don't even know. Like, we've got Batgirl, and I don't know.
That's
sexy housewife Batwoman.
I
I don't know.
It's very golden age looking.
Yeah, so this is an in between book, still 10 cents.
give me a year.
50s.
Oh, really?
Right at the end of the.
Oh, so this is
age.
Batman's been going on a decade before this.
Oh no, 30, 39, 40, 20 years.
But it's
Right.
before
Oh.
that 66 resurgence.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's definitely.
Who drew this? Bill Finger?
No, no. No, Bill Finger was gone. Let's go through. We're gonna go through a couple more books here. Again, I'm going later more than this book is what we would call a reader.
Yeah.
Beat copy. A lot of wear on the spine. Obvious lot of
Some people will call it a reader. Some people will call it affordable.
affordable.
Yeah.
We've got the classic Marvel chipping. This is Atlas, which predates Marvel.
Yeah.
But the thing is, this is a really tough book to find. Justin, Tales of Suspense. I know you've been up and coming with learning with comics.
This is number one, guys.
This is number 1, but number 39 is a big issue.
It's the first appearance of Iron Man.
Beautiful. Man, the kid's learning.
Well, I got to know what
You know
to
what
watch
I'm
out
saying?
for.
He's
You know,
going to be running a
yeah.
crew one day.
Yeah, when you the capo.
Yeah, he's going to be running a crew.
capo.
I'm just over here shaking my head.
Early horror, suspense, space. Tell me that doesn't look right out of the 50s. Some Buck Rogers looking dude.
Yep.
With a that was the fishbowl that everybody got. They could breathe in the fishbowl.
Sure.
Really tough book in any grade. If this was high grade, we'd be looking at $2,000-$3,000 all day long. This is a lower grade, $250 to $400.
Like you said, a reader.
A reader. Tough book. Never run into it. I've had only one copy before,
And that's what it is. This isn't the first appearance of anyone per se,
but it's number 1.
but is a number one of Tales of Suspense, which is a book that, among other people, introduced to the world Iron Man.
Iron Man. And in comic lore, it's one of the great Atlas titles. It
Right.
really is.
How long did Iron Man run in Tales before he got his own?
Well, he went from, let's say, early 60s, 62, 63, all the way to that, that famous number 1, that beautiful cover that was till 69,
Yeah.
about 8-9 years. So
Wow.
it was a long run.
And
yeah.
did Tales of Suspense end when Iron Man began?
yes.
Just like all the other ones
Yeah,
did.
but they gave him a number 1, which was so weird.
And they
'cause
started everybody else on 101.
102 and 100.
Right.
Yeah, really weird how they did that. So, I mean, we don't get this in a lot. It will be here. A lot of these may be getting sended off to graded. We're going to show you some really cool stuff. Now we're going to, this is a book that's probably, this didn't come from the Bianco collection. This came from one of my friends at the flea market, and he called me, he had this book, Predates Superman.
So this is pre-39.
Pre-39, this is 1938, number 1, famous feature stories. What's really cool about this book is most people won't know who Terry and the Pirates are. We got Dick Tracy, who's the big one on here, Little Orphan Annie. The rest, Sam Jack, what's it? Smiling Jack?
Smiling Jack,
No
man.
idea
Come
who
on,
Smiling
Smiling Jack.
Jack.
Kurt Russell played him in the movie.
Yes.
Smiling Jack and the Four Horsemen.
Well, what's cool
I'm making
about
shit
this-
up, man.
He's making it
Wow.
up.
Wow.
What's really
That's
cool
what I do.
about this book, Justin, is it's got a cardboard cover. The medium wasn't established yet. So they were trying all different things to see what they were going to come
Because
up with.
before this, comics were strips and
Just reprints of strips. This
there
actually
were pulp books probably,
with harder covers.
but this is like an early comic, like
Yeah,
comic.
Does that hold up better than the paper or not?
Probably not.
No, really. Actually, it's weird when you open it. It's so stiff. And
I
they
can
get-
imagine they get crispy and crunchy a
brittle.
lot.
Yeah,
brittle,
they get crispy and crunchy. This actually isn't full comic strips. It's actually stories and captions.
So
So
there's more stories than there are.
yeah, this was a tryout. Kids had this is when kids could read.
This is before they sat down and told the story with the pictures.
Yep. It was a combination of pictures and stories.
Right.
Very early key book, not a high-end book, $200 or so, but just go find one. 1938. I mean,
Yeah, the fact that this survived from 1930, it's almost 100 years old
Yeah,
at this point.
I mean,
It's
yeah.
80 years old at this point.
yeah, my Uncle June,
Uncle June?
Uncle June.
Uncle Junior?
The Uncle Junior.
That's Uncle Junior's
That's
age.
before Uncle Junior.
What's fascinating
spoilers.
about comics in general is that they were meant to be disposable.
Right.
And
Pulp
that's why the
magazine.
older they are, the more, it's not like a vintage book or an antique book. These were meant to be read and
They were probably printed on the cheapest shit you could get.
Right. A pulp was the
Yep.
bunch of paper thrown into a thing. The thing that we don't understand, there's a lot of people. So to find this book in mint that survived, that's why these books in high grade.
Well, that's why we say condition.
Right. Now we're going to show what I think is a really interesting book. Total beater, reader, whatever you want to call. It's All-Star Comics number 7, early 1940s. The war in Europe was raging, and the contents in this book are really, actually, it's historic. This book, Green Lantern in the Oak. I read this. He goes to.
So
Europe.
that's Green Lantern.
That's.
I looked at this
Green
picture and I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
That's the original Green Lantern, Spectre, Hourman, Johnny Thunder, the
Johnny
Lightning
Lightning.
Bolt, Sandman. Him we should know because of his helmet.
Yeah, that's the Owlman.
Dr. Fate.
I'm just kidding.
Hawkman and the Atom. All names you're going to be familiar with, but all different versions, original versions of famous current characters.
And look who shows up: Superman, Batman, and Helmet Head Guy. I know it's the Flash. I know.
The FT Flores man.
Yeah.
What's really cool about this, Justin, this book is, and we're thrilled.
Is he wearing a spaghetti strainer?
It's supposed to be the God Mercury.
Yeah, great.
Great, yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, Penelope's right about it. What's really cool is the storyline is awesome. Green Lantern goes to Europe, realizes that there's all these orphans from Hitler's Blitzkrieg, and assigns each member of the Justice Society.
So this is way pre-Justice League.
Oh, there's no society. Yeah. League was another 25 or 30 years down the road. But each member has to go. They're going to try and raise $100,000 in 1941.
So let me ask you:
each or in total?
Total.
Is this? Well, that was like $14 zillion back then.
Yeah, that was the whole economy of
bought,
Brazil.
Yeah, you could have bought Brazil for that back then.
yeah.
So
maybe Mexico.
Is this the first time that the DC? Is this the first time that we've seen Batman, Superman, Aquaman, and Hawkman? Because those are the ones that actually translate to now as Justice League people. Is this the first time we see them in a book together?
Yeah, well, not on a cover, because they are in a couple previous covers, but on the very last page when they're short with the money, Superman shows up and Batman and Robin show up, and they meet their goal. And they're in the same panel. So this is the first time that Superman and Batman and Robin are in a comic together.
Wow.
Not on a cover, but together. Which is huge.
Huge.
Why didn't Bruce Wayne just give them all?
And then I know.
Well, because exactly. Well, remember they were written for 8-year-olds.
And then throw in Green Lantern and other members of the current Justice League.
You can, even with all the wear, all the tape on it, you can just see how badass.
It's history.
It's history. If you take this pocket watch
and bury it in the sand,
100 years from now, it's
about 100.
1,000 years from now, it's priceless.
Thank you, Renee Bullock.
Yes.
The men call him Bello.
So we got All-Star number 7. This is. I'm going to try and save the best for last.
Oh, look at the lantern on his chest. It's like so.
I can't even, dude. He looks like. I don't even know. It looks like he's like selling carpets door to door or something. I don't even know.
Yeah, this is like a bad local carpet salesman.
Right.
Ad.
Yeah. He's like, I've seen him outside the tile store.
When you were 8 years old in 1941, it was all badass. Here we have another book that didn't come from the Bianco collection, but came from a friend of mine at the flea market. 1943, so we're right at the height of the war.
It's Star Spangled Comics.
Exactly.
Here we have
the Sandman.
We have Tiny Joe, Green Hat Jim, and Yellow and Blue Man.
The 1940s called. They want the jogging bag.
The 30s. Yeah.
Oh my God.
The Japanese guy.
And poor Japanese guy. At least he's not drawn the way
we're going to get to that.
Yeah.
Nothing key about this book except that it's from 1943. It's actually in really good shape. In relation,
your guy's grandfather read this on the ship over to fight
the Razzies.
Yes.
Yeah. So
like they were reading this.
But what's really cool about this, Justin, it was done. The story was done by a guy named Jack Kirby and Joe Simon.
So is this pre-Captain America?
No, this is 2 years prior to
because they did Cap.
Yeah, they did
yeah.
Cap.
This is pre-Cap.
No, this is
post-Cap.
Post-Cap.
That's right.
And if this is Joe Simon's work, obviously with Jack Kirby. The cover's a Kirby Simonson cover. Just a classic book, man. And
well, what we're doing, this is basically the history.
This is history.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. I was in business.
The Purple Pie Man is coming in through the window here.
Who's probably a Nazi spy. That was the typical storyline.
Yeah.
Or, a saboteur.
Right.
Because during this time, there was a lot of sayings. You'll remember this. You'll see posters. Loose lips sink ships.
Yep.
Well, that was the whole plan. They're obviously looking at some plans here, and Purple Guy's going to come steal it.
Yeah, you see the plans here? Yeah, you see?
Exactly.
Hey,
yes.
I need my new grate. That's very interesting.
What was really cool about this was Kirby incorporated kids from the local Bowery,
Right.
and they helped solve the crime.
Okay,
And
so
kids love.
So this is
stuff.
who?
This is the Guardian.
The Guardian is here with Slippery Joe and Petey Mike.
Petey Mike, not to be confused with Mikey Pete.
Okay. Now, another thing is for lousy 10 cents back then, this was one story. Look at the
10 cents
size.
back then. You could eat
a piece
all
of
week.
pie.
Yeah, that's
No,
like,
no,
that's
eat
no,
all
like
week
a
on 10 cents.
No.
back.
Yeah, that's easily a loaf of bread. It's got
That's maybe a loaf of bread and a thing of milk. We're going to do another one of the classics. This came in.
All right, I've heard of this guy.
You know this guy. Classic cover. Not much to say here, man. It's a little bit later. The war's ended, so you don't see a war.
Have
theme.
they stolen Superman from Simon & Schuster by this point?
No, Simon and Schuster are back from the war, and
In the bullpen drawing.
yeah, they're.
But they don't own don't own Superman at this
No,
point.
they're getting ready to be very poor
Simon
for the
and
next
Schuster?
20 years.
Siegel and Schuster.
Siegel and
Simon and
all right. Schuster and Schuster.
Yeah.
Cool. What a cover, huh, Josh?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I mean,
He's lucky he didn't kill that
I got to show you
picture.
something though.
So Superman is hitting a ball and basically almost killing this pitcher.
The picture. Here's the thing, though. Let's take a time trip. You go to the newsstand. I'm
Look at
buying
the
the
condition.
Superman.
I'm gonna tell you the condition of
I
this is
know.
beautiful. For
Are-
what year?
1945.
Wow.
Are you buying this or this? I'm buying the Superman, man.
I'm buying a Superman too.
Yeah.
This is like I said. This is two ugly kids and a guy in a yellow
Thinking.
pot on his head,
But
thinking.
being patriotic was a big deal then because we were in the middle of a war.
Same amount of money.
Wow.
All right. Somehow we got kicked off. Technology.
It's your jogging.
So we're talking about Superman, Golden Age, and comparing these two.
And you can just see why Superman sold better than Star Spangled Comics.
And it was Superman was their flagship book. Well, by this point, Batman was probably killing it as well, right?
Oh yeah, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman.
At this point, DC ruled the world, though. Am I right?
No, man. Marvel. Well,
Was this 50s?
This is 40s.
So what was Marvel doing? Oh, Captain America.
Captain America. We're going to show you some of the stuff. Human Torch, Submariner,
Iron
all
Man.
right there. And I'm going to tell you who actually outsold the King. Superman and DC took him to court and ultimately owned him.
Shazam,
A guy named Captain Marvel,
who became Shazam,
who
right?
became Shazam, actually was outselling Superman monthly.
I wonder why. Because he was
love
tied
him.
to a kid.
They just loved him.
Yeah.
Whatever reason. It was well done for kids. Whiz
Well, the
Comics.
movie's coming.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to and last but not least, we want to tell you probably the best book in this Golden Age collection. And again, is a book called Young Allies. It's obviously let's take a good look at this, Justin. Show people, point out some of the problems, some of the things that are being done there, and then Penelope showed me something that blew me away.
Bucky and Toro. So this is during the age of the
Sidekicks,
right? When they had young dudes come be
So Bucky
sidekicks.
is Captain America's sidekick?
Yeah.
Who is Toro's sidekick?
the Human Torch's sidekick.
Okay.
Which
He turns into a bull.
No, he
No,
doesn't.
Fernand.
His name is
The bull.
Ferdinand the bull.
But
All right, let's talk about this.
let's talk about it.
because
There's a lot to
because
unpack.
this today
There's a
in this
lot.
day and age, this is not a thing. So here's Bucky, right?
And
Who
Torch.
eventually becomes Winter Soldier, but it sure don't look like it. This is little Jimmy
Toro.
who eats too many hot dogs or something. Jesus, dude.
He eats many.
Toro needs to jog, and I'm allowed to say that.
What?
Dude, he's a round boy.
This is Toro.
Oh, who's this?
That's Chubby Boy.
Well, this is who I'm looking at here.
Toro's the flaming guy, bro.
Oh, Toro has the same powers as Human Torch?
Yeah.
Well, how come Bucky doesn't have the same powers as Captain America?
He didn't have the serum until 70 years later.
Well, that's a shit. So Toro was also on fire.
Okay.
Well, who's Chubbo?
I didn't read it. I don't know. He's one of the cast of characters.
What is that comic? Young Allies number what?
3.
Okay.
All right, but let's.
All right, so we got some bombers. Right, we got the
which is awesome.
We got the Japanese Imperial flag there.
We got the howitzer blasting away.
Yep.
And with one of the local Bowery boys screaming what?
Remember Pearl Harbor, because at this time
Pearl
America
Harbor
was very upset. We didn't. To get a little history, most of the country was anti-war. Until Pearl Harbor happened, and everybody was like, "Well, we're going to go over there. We're going to kill us some Japs," which was the sentiment. Unfortunately,
the sneaky bastard bombed Pearl Harbor.
Oh, hey, some people say that we let it happen so we could get into the war.
That's the conspiracy.
Read some Wikipedia. But here we go with how they portrayed caricatures of Japanese people.
What's the first thing you notice?
He's fucking yellow.
He's the yellow guy, right?
And he looks, they
monsterish,
right? They made Japanese people yellow monsters.
So I'm gonna read you the name.
Unfortunately, oh my goodness, is that an African American?
That's a typical rendition of an African
God.
American. That's awful. There's no jokes about it.
He's wearing the Joker's costume.
Well, a zoot suit, which is of the era. Okay. Yeah.
And then there is Mitch McConnell. Yeah. When he first started out.
That's awesome. I gotta tell you, it's even racist the suit that they put him in.
Yeah, because he's wearing like
suit.
Yeah. They were trying. They were really playing into the stereotypes and being overtly racist with things.
Which is where America was. But here's the thing that Penelope showed me. You didn't even notice, and I didn't notice. What does that say? That's early. He's a kid when he wrote this.
Wow. Huh. So this is one of Stan Lee's earlier.
Yes, Stan Lee. And this is still Timely Comics. They weren't Marvel
yet, this is Timely. Yeah, Timely Comics. Amazing cover.
So pre-Marvel.
Pre-Marvel, Timely in its very young, this is a couple-year-old company.
Awesome book. If you think about this is pre-Marvel with Bucky, Toro.
So I'm going to interject here real fast. You are wondering who the heavy-set gentleman was there on the cover.
Yeah, it's Roundo.
I'm going to read you the names of the young allies, and you can tell me who's
okay, tell us who the young allies.
Bucky Barnes.
Yeah.
Right.
Toro.
Yep.
Knuckles O'Toole. Who's Knuckles O'Toole, you think?
Well, he's going to be an Irish person.
That's him with the yellow. That's Knuckles.
Keep going.
Okay.
Whitewash Jones.
That's going to be a black dude.
He might be the guy in the zoot suit.
He's the zoot. Yeah.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Whitewash Jones. That's awful.
It's terrible. Jeff Sanderville.
That's Mitch
This
McConnell.
is Mitch McConnell's code name.
Are you ready?
Yeah, who's
you
it?
guys ready? Tubby Tinkle.
Oh,
Tubby. See? They weren't pulling punches back then.
Wait. Think about what they just named the kid. Tubby Tinkle. Yeah. So he's a fat kid who peed his pants.
Yeah. Why is Jeff Sanderville?
So this is probably the Irish guy then. This is O'Toole.
This is the O'Toole, and we know that's whitewash. Which is awful.
Messed up. Incredibly messed up.
The images represented here on Young Allies have nothing to do with Far
Hey, listen, man. All it is history. We're not saying it's cool because it's so old and it represents a time in comic books.
In America.
But thank God, comics have come full circle now.
Yeah, this is a look into America.
This is, they're reading this in the White House right now. But comics are on the opposite end of things.
Right. Yeah, this would be an issue DT would buy.
Yeah.
American Great again.
I think Tubby O'Toole was saying, they're going to pay for that wall. We already have a wall.
No, Tubby Tinkle.
Oh, wait. No, that's Japan, not China.
Tubby Tinkle's peeing himself right here.
Yeah.
He's going to put out the Toro.
Yeah. I look at the planes. I mean, the scaling's way off.
Who drew this?
Actually, it says right here, illustrated by Al Gabriel. Wow, which is so
Story
cool.
by Stan Lee. Wow.
Yeah. Really something, huh?
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's before Stan Lee. It's
spring 1942.
This is before any Fantastic Four, any Spider-Man.
Spring 42, which means this is the
height of the war.
No, Pearl Harbor happened in
December 41.
December 41.
So we're jumping in.
We're 3 months. This literally is a few months.
And we are outraged as a country.
Yeah, and that's what this represents. So
which is a shame because if you think about it, Stan Lee being of Jewish descent, some part of him probably. Well, everybody was heated. Everybody was heated.
You got to remember, there's stories of guys who literally cried when they couldn't serve.
Yeah.
They were found.
Well, it's just like after the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
And all the hatred that came out after that.
Yeah, then there was that guy in the 60s who got bone spurs and couldn't serve.
Oh, there's a couple of them.
Yeah, his dad got him out of it. And then last but not least, we're going to do a quickie on what we're getting.
All right, speaking of Stan Lee.
Yeah, we're going to get ready. These are going to CGC.
These are not Golden Age.
No, this is our CGC haul, and it's going.
This is first Black Panther. First Black Panther.
Yeah.
First
Black Panther.
Wow.
We're hoping that this gets a 5-0. We're going to give you our pre-grade projection.
we're looking for a 5-0 on this.
We are looking for a 6-0
This is
or
Hulk
better.
number 5. So, there are only 6 issues originally of Hulk. Hulk was not one of the characters that was in one of those Tales books.
No.
He right away got his own book. And they did 6 issues.
And then went to
And then went into one of those books because I don't think his books were doing very well.
What's really awful about this book is in great condition.
It really is. So these books usually
color.
suffer from really bad
Color is
shipping.
very, very beautiful.
It's a Ditko cover, not a Kirby. And or no, this might be the Kirby. I'm not sure. I know Ditko did 1 or 2 issues. Another one that's leaving us, another beauty, and we're hoping for a 6 or 6.5 on this. Another beauty that we're hoping for a 5.
Jesus, Avengers number 2.
Avengers number 2.
Cap hasn't even joined yet.
No, first appearance of the Space Phantom.
Yeah, good old Space Phantom. You remember him from such tales as the Space Phantom and the Space Phantom Strikes Again.
What?
And last but not least, we're hitting the second appearance of Cap as an Avenger.
Right.
We have 4 in the case.
Yep.
This is number 5. The reason this is going, I think this could top out at an 8-0. What do you think, Just? Take a look.
I'd really have to.
What a book.
So when we're grading, the first thing we look at is spine, obviously, for checks and color breaks.
Yep.
And then we check corners and edges.
Well, that was fun.
Now, it's hard to, we only really, it takes so much time, and we don't do it right. We grade right by the cover.
Which a lot of people do.
Yeah, but then you send the book in, they look at every page.
Yeah, there could be a rusty staple in there that makes that a 5.
Which sucks.
So these are the books that we're sending out, and we